And this balloon reaches elevations of over 121,000 feet, which is nearly 23 miles. And as we can clearly see, not an ounce of curvature is to be found.
Oh, Smarty Marty, I don't believe for 1 second that you're this dumb. No, I think you're the Pied Piper, Marty, the liar, who leads the fools off the edge of the ledge of knowledge. First of all, Smarty, Marty, liar, leads. The truth is, 22 miles or 23 miles above Earth, you're making it sound like it's really far. The truth is, in relevance to the size of Earth, 23 miles is nothing, my friend. The Earth, let's say, has a diameter of 8,000 miles roughly. So Marty, right here, this green line around the circumference of this sphere, this circle, is only 100 miles, and you can barely even see it. So 23 miles, you can't even reflect the size ratio. So let me kind of show you what the truth is about those numbers. So, it's like having a stack of 8,000 papers versus only 23, Marty. Or $8,000 versus having only $23, Marty leads. Or let me explain it to you this way, Mr. Pied Piper. The pi of 8,000, if you take out 23, Marty, the thickness of the knife is thicker than your slice. So you're not going to get a slice of the pie, homie. You know why? Because 23 ain't shit compared to 8,000. It's funny you didn't share with your audience the truth of the pie, or the piece of the pie, Marty. You didn't explain to them that 8,000 compared to just 23 is only 0.29%, Marty. You would need more than 3 times that just to equal 1%. And the funny thing is, Mr. Smarty Marty Liar Leads, is that the videos of flat earthers that show these high altitude balloons, well, where you're saying the Earth is flat, all they do is prove 1,000% that the Earth is, indeed, without question, a sphere. Because they are independent. It's not NASA. It's not the bullshit liars trying to trick us. And they certainly do that all the time, don't they? But without question, the Earth is a sphere, my friend. No doubt about it. So, Smarty Marty, the truth is you have an illogical mind. You are, I'm sorry, dumb. You have a brain of knowledge. You have not a critical thinking mind whatsoever. Because the land that we're looking at right here below us, that we came off of, and you think it's flat, right? So we left from a flat land right below us right here, Marty. But look, when we get up high, check it out. What's happening, Marty? Huh? We look off, and as we pan around in a circle, we see the spherical sphere of the Earth tapering off, which is seen by the shadowing and the lighting of the sphere. Certainly not a flat disk, because you can't get grays and shadows on a flat disk. So, the Earth is a sphere, which is why it has spherical shadows. So, Marty, the 23 out of 8,000, that viewpoint perspective is what you're looking at right here. That's why you can't see the ball or the curvature. So Marty, if the land below us was flat, then why is it tapering off and we see the curve and then the edge of the ledge? So Marty, if the land was flat below us, it would continue on to the right and keep going in both directions, in all directions, and 360 degrees of the pie, the land would be flat. So, Smarty Marty, Mr. Pied Piper Leads, I thought you had a critical thinking mind. But for some reason you don't understand the concept of perspective whatsoever, obviously. Because spherical arc angles, understanding the spherical shadowing compared to the flat plane of a disk does not execute shadows in the ranges from black to white. It only executes black and white, while a sphere has all of the shades of gray in between black and white, proving the spherical surface. So one must have a proper perspective to understand things. So you don't seem to understand that when you're on the Earth, you can actually be on a ball even though it appears to be flat. And I demonstrated this in a 3D program by creating a gigantic, huge planet ball Earth and placing a camera on the surface and then spinning around, checking out the entire panoramic view, and as you can clearly see, it's flat. It appears to be flat, just like our perspective viewpoint here on Earth. But when you come back from a far distance, much further than 23 miles, Marty, I'm not talking just a little bit off the surface, I'm talking way, way back, a perspective viewpoint where you can see the entire ball, the spherical Earth that we live on. So when you're up close, you can't see it. But even in these amateur balloon flights and rocket flights with the GoPros and stuff that the flat earthers are saying that prove the Earth is flat, well, all it does is prove that it's a sphere because of the spherical shadowing and the highlights that prove without question that it is indeed a sphere. So let's examine this further by showing that the San Diego harbor right here, let's get the map out that's flat, and over to the right you'll notice it's Asia. So when this balloon flight went up in the air, Marty, and we're looking down at San Diego harbor right here, why does the Earth start to highlight, because it's a sphere, and cut off right there in the middle when it should continue right over? The land would be flat like you're saying, so it would continue right over to Asia.
6-foot tall person standing at the sea level. Should the horizon not be, generally speaking, a set distance away?
Smarty Marty, I'm so glad you brought that up, because the horizon is what proves that we are standing on a sphere and not a flat plane. So the viewable horizon perspective viewpoint of the eye at 6 feet tall, standing on the land, is about 2.9 miles away. So the horizon is 2.9 miles away in all directions, which proves that you're on a sphere. And the higher you go, that viewable perspective will increase. That ring, that perfect circle with you as the dot in the middle, will always have the same perspective. So the 360-degree panoramic view is 2.9 miles away no matter where you are on Earth, which proves that you're on a sphere. Because if you were on a flat plane, Marty, on the flat Earth, Marty, a flat tard living in, let's say, South Africa would be closer to the edge of the ledge, Marty, than he would, let's say, in North America. So it would be like standing in the middle of a huge auditorium, or being on one far end of the auditorium. That's what the flat Earth viewpoint would be like when you're looking at the horizon. You'd be far, far away in one direction and really close in another direction. Once again, flat Earth fails. So that's why the flat Earth model has to have a sphere, because of the ancient knowledge of our spherical world and the fact that when you're standing on the Earth, no matter where you are, you'll always be in the center of that circle, the dot, the viewable panoramic view that you have from living on a sphere. Even if you go to the top of Mount Everest, it's still the same story, Marty. The world is a perfect sphere in all directions, and the viewable horizon is the same in all directions. So thank you for bringing that up, Marty. It proved that the Earth is indeed a sphere.
It's an incredible video of Jenna zooming her camera across a lake at a distance of over 30 miles. And as you can clearly see right here, you can see almost the entirety of the city with just a bit of the street obscured from view. And then she shows a shot at the end of the video of the city skyline and then a screenshot from her video. And they look pretty damn close. It's almost identical.
What are you, fucking nuts?
They look pretty damn close. It's almost identical.
Oh, Smarty Marty, the Pied Piper leads. I just can't believe that you're this ignorant, this dumb. I just find it hard to believe. I don't know if you're just, a liar or just dumb. Seriously. Because almost identical is like saying it's kinda like or sort of in a way, which really means not even close. So the truth is, Marty, that those two pictures are not almost identical, they are nowhere near identical. So only an ignorant, novice, amateur would assume that those are the same. So let's zoom in and let's find out the true perspective and get into the real truth of the subject. So we will zoom in from 8,000 to just 30 miles on the Earth's surface, which is why we only see a few hundred feet of droppage in just that 30 miles. And of course, the horizon line is the tangent point, or the height of the spinning ball, Marty leads. So when you're on one end of the spherical ball, your view is obstructed from the 30 miles away tower of the Taurus Bull. Because, why? Because of the horizon bulge, the tangent point of the sphere, Marty leads. Mr. Pied Piper, you didn't show the truth of the hundreds of feet that is missing from the image. So you said just a bit of the street is obscured from the view. What? Who are you trying to fool? You make me sick that you sit here and spew ignorance and don't even do real research and figure out that those two pictures are nowhere near the truth. You're talking hundreds of feet. Look how huge the Rogers Center is. I mean, it's gigantic. Little people standing on the surface right there, on the ground, that's not even water level. The water level's below that. There's what, 20, 30, 40 feet? Who knows? You'd have to go find out of land below the actual building as well, which even adds more feet because the building itself is 280 something feet tall. You can only see the tip of it, my son, my Pied Piper liar. Her video clearly shows that it's cut off and all you can see is the roof, the half of the roof is sticking up. Freaking, you can see almost all of it. Fucking liar.
And as you can clearly see right here, you can see almost the entirety of the city with just a bit of the street obscured from view.
What are you, fucking nuts?
Oh my God. Dude.
Yeah, that's just shitting on 'em. Shit, put your number twos in the air if you did it on 'em.